好吃，再过来。追太阳了，很美哦，太阳真的。
我没有看到什么东西。
太阳。
没有羊，因为这是羊的大气候，羊还是。然后年轻的更有啦，因为15周完的嘛，他的女生。可以几個杯都掛了了喎。你哋上次啲嘢，都出咗佢哋所謂嘅最大嘅貴的咁價格。อย่างนี้กับว่า可能畫面可能應該都冇少，可能冇嘅其他都係應該你有乜咧可以去買。有啲買。會被佢話俾佢差了，啲刀就斷掉，都被刮刮下喂。會多事的，我不知道有沒有事的，我都不知道在外面找來一個小差不多，做不到那個不知道會多事的。
Like postcard. You will give you a free postcard. You can take just take a free one. Very yes, it's actually at the garden side. I will show you. So at the garden side, right, also you put stop one shot. Then you go right, try to drink a bit of water, drink too much, so that you will go for toilets. Don't feel like going toilets. Okay, then of course over there some of the things that you can buy also. The uncle, remember the honey almond? Because no more already. Don't know how many church you actually build? Sure. Remember which 5 church? 来了。
Sagrada Familia.
Okay.
El Pilar.
Hey, not bad.
Okay.
Then the third one is good to be ordered so that you can remember. Oh yeah, Toledo is Sydney actually. You know, coastal line, very nice view. The modern city in Valencia, shopping in this La Roca, okay, free dining in this Barcelona. Okay, so they built that square. You see, you've been to Barcelona, you go actually, it's just a normal square, nothing right. You know, they are building the square to represent their country. So there take photo only in my face. Nobody around surrounding, behind background nobody. Everyone is going for this plaza is money. the right, you can see a lot of big ships. You can see a lot of ships. And of course, Morocco is the entrance to the Sea of Mediterranean.
Okay, this is the rock.
要转。
This is short. All buildings and fjords around. Rocks.
哇，没有开。哦，没有学校 ，education college center。 哎，你看它的洗衣机自己自动一点的，它的 laundry 自己动牵的，啊。看到了。
We have too many. The scooters are a curse in Gibraltar. Anyway, you'll see British Airways just landed. And you will see the petrol station, all the hundreds of apartments. If we've got any, as I said, if we've got any aviation enthusiasts on board, we have an automatic landing system. Simply.
没有这边也是可以。好了，你去了，如果你。
Right, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning. My name is Derek. Derek, D-E-R-E-K. Let me come to a very special day here in Gibraltar because it's National Day. Yes. It's like having your 18th and 21st birthdays, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve all rolled into 20 day here. We always have it on the 10th of September every year. This, by the way, is the 26th National Day. Because on the 10th of September said no. The 44 people who wanted to be Spanish were packed off across that frontier, never to be seen again. So National Day just started off 26 years ago as a political rally.
The flight soon.
Yeah.
Right, well, I think we've got an aeroplane landing. Do you realise that to enter and leave Gibraltar, we've got to go across the runway? And this is it. This is Gibraltar's runway. It's like stations. Prices, by the way, are both in pounds and euros. And that is per litre of fuel. By the way, we've got red telephone boxes.
Yeah.
And that's an opportunity. I was working on a cruise ship. And we stopped in Singapore. This must have been nearly 35 years ago. And I went wandering through the streets and I found Raffles. By the way, folks, because we've got a lot of traffic on the roads here in Gibraltar, if I suddenly stop talking, it's not because I've forgotten what to say, it's simply because I'm concentrating on the traffic. Okay? Yes. Traffic is one thing that we have plenty of here in Gibraltar. There was a report before Christmas stating that we have
West please.
Okay, just wait for a while. The driver is actually collecting the tickets.
It's all up and downhill. Ahead of us here is our answer to Trafalgar Square in London. Because on the 21st of October 1805, Admiral Nelson came down here and defeated the French at Cap Trafalgar. Cap Trafalgar is about 50 kilometers away on the Spanish coast. And over on the other side of this roundabout, there is an old cemetery. And if you go into the tombstones marking sailors who lost their lives during the Battle of Trafalgar. Just get out of this roundabout and then I will talk some more, because life gets a little bit complicated here. Now, after the battle, when we defeated the French, by the way, don't talk about that battle. Admiral Nelson had been shot dead. By the way, we've got the cable car here to our right-hand side. The cable car is 52 years old this year. Yes, wow. And it works every day of the year except Christmas Day and New Year's Day. It is world famous, and when we get big cruise ships in, people will queue for a whole hour, maybe an hour and a half, to get a ride on the cable car. As you can see, it's busy working at the moment. The only thing that really will stop the cable car. We've got a lovely garden here, or gardens, just Alameda Botanical Gardens, 202 years old this year. And it's some what we call prime land, right? 4-star hotel. Many people, many famous people do tours which involve stopping at the Rock Hotel for tea, sandwiches, coffee, dozens and dozens of pictures of famous people who have visited or stayed at the Rock Hotel. It makes fascinating looking. Also, if you wander into the bar in the Rock Hotel, there are many pictures of Gibraltar during World War II. to your right-hand side, you will see the beautiful view looking the distance, about 15 kilometers away. That's 426 meters above sea level. And St Michael's Cave is around about 300-meter mark above sea level. So we've got some climbing to do before we get to St Michael's Cave. By the way, keep your eyes open for monkeys. Pavement to our right-hand side. Port Authority, you will notice the big black, and there it is with all the barbed wire wrap. Now it's very clean and tidy, it's only about 5. Hotel. You probably ask, why do you call it a hotel when it's prison? It's simply because we say every cell comes with a sea view. Okay? Well, if you look behind you, you'll see why we call it the hotel. Sometimes we see of the prisoners or for smuggling offences. Please remember that we don't have any value-added tax here. Therefore, cigarettes are cheaper here than they are in Spain. And we've got Morocco just across the strait, just to the south of us. And Morocco is a constant source of drugs. In the nature reserve here in Gibraltar, this area is known because White Wall, and beyond that wall is a very old Jewish cemetery. It's just here, and this grey plaque explains the history of the cemetery in both Hebrew and in English. Morning. Okay, as we continue to climb, can I draw your attention to the view to our left? Yes, that's well. That is the Bay of Gibraltar. Visibility is good today. That town over on the far side, on the other side of the bay, that is Algeciras in Spain. That is Spain all the way around. See over there? That is all part of a very large container port. Remember that it is very large, very spacious, and because the acoustics inside the cave are so good, we have music concerts, seating for about 400 people. Now the cave colour all the time, and the lighting system is
不会跌倒了啦，我。你就照那个灯走就没有事。没有那边的。
那边出来哟。
哇，
And each group, troop or family has its own territory and they remain within that. It's the same monkey. There's no record of how they got here. We really don't know. Some ideas are that when the Moors or the Moroccans ruled southern Europe, they brought them across from there. Because we know that they came from North Africa. May claims that there is a tunnel which runs from the bottom of St. Michael's Cave, which you've just been in. It's a very deep cave, and the story suggests that from Morocco in North Africa. But we really don't know how they got here. It's a bit of a mystery. They've always been here. Majority of the 5 or 6 millimeters in diameter. Too small for us to eat, so palms. We also have Australian eucalyptus trees here. I don't know how they got here, but we've got some eucalyptus trees from Australia. And earlier this year we had a wonderful display of green leaf. Some people think it's rhubarb, but it produces a shoot about 1 meter long. And up this shoot, purple flowers, which really is very battery. During World War II, where we've got the 3 flagpoles, we would have had Caroline of now. And we're going to head side of Gibraltar. And next while, enjoy the views looking across to Morocco in North Africa. We've got the lighthouse there. There's a cafeteria as well. On this bend ahead of us, we've got one of the entrances to the World War II tunnels, which I spoke of earlier on. It's a 45-minute guided tour, and the entrance is... Now this building here on our right with the flagpole on the top is the very old, built in 1333. A little bit of creative driving now as we... this road we're going down is called Willis's Road. It's possibly the oldest road in Gibraltar up to the castle. This road, keep an eye on it as the Old Town or the Upper Town. And by the way, up until about 5 years ago, we used to have two-way traffic up and down here. Yes, wow, wow, wow. Just think of how many mirrors have been broken. Just here to our right-hand side, we've got Paradise Ramp, crossing this part of town, connecting it all together. Used to be our hospital, which was derelict for many, many years. We had squatters living in there, and they made an awful mess of it. And they are expensive apartments. Now, I live just the other side of this building, and for those who've heard it all going on, shout, and it was always in either Spanish or Portuguese. It was noisy. By the way, we've still got red. And that telephone box works. You'll find 2 of those telephone boxes side by photographed telephone boxes in the photograph taken standing by the telephone box with the door open, holding the telephone receiver in there. Toyota buses around these streets, because these streets are very, very narrow. Now, I said I lived around here. If you look up to your right-hand side, you'll see behind that wall is where I live, living right in the centre of town, because all the shops really are just around. Parking is a nightmare here in Gibraltar, but because I'm resident, and this applies, all you have to, yeah, seriously, yeah, all you have to do is jump on the bus, show that your Gibraltar government's attempt to try and reduce the traffic in lorries, coaches, everywhere. It's crazy. And there is a saying that oh so true, oh so very true. Now in London, on our left-hand side of our Chief Minister, who leads he lives over there at that place called the Convent. It's kind of our answer to Buckingham Palace, because sometimes we have members of the Royal Gibraltar Regiment as well. If you put your application, you are married. It's as quick as that. But there is one proviso, that you must spend one night here on the Rock of Gibraltar. We've got two cathedrals here in Gibraltar. We're just going to go past one now, this cathedral. You'll notice we don't waste any land at all, because mosque. There are two mosques here in Gibraltar. Now we're working on Wall Road. Gets its name simply because, therefore, as I've already explained, all those claimed land. The United Football Club supporters, the Gibraltar branch of Manchester United. I tell you what, my wife is from Manchester, and she supports Manchester City. She is a true blue. You support Manchester United. Right, we're back to the Trafalgar Interchange. We've got another red telephone box. This is the most southern end of Main Street. The statue of Lord Nelson, very famous admiral. That's why we put him next to them. I thought you'd enjoy that one. But we've already been up this road. Last time we turned left and went up Europa Road towards the cave. This time we're going to go down the Europa Road. Now, the Battle of Trafalgar is very important in Gibraltar's history, because as Admiral Nelson came down here and defeated the French fleet at Cap Trafalgar. The thing is that during the battle, Admiral Nelson was shot dead, and his flagship HMS Victory was badly damaged. So Nelson's body, Admiral Nelson's body, on his flagship Victory was towed aired. Now the thing is that Nelson's body had to be returned to the United Kingdom for a state funeral, and they had to figure out a way of preserving his body. Remember, 1805, no fridges or freezers to look after his body, so they came up with a barrel, filling the barrel with brandy, which is what they did, put the lid on the top and tied the barrel to one of the masts on HMS Victory. Great idea. So off they went, sailing back to England. It was going to take about 3 weeks to sail from Gibraltar back to England. So off they went. The problem is that Nelson's body started to ferment like a bottle of wine. The gases started to build up inside the barrel, and the pressure became so great, popped off the barrel. Out came a hand. And the sailors rushed around, put his hand back in, popped the top back on the barrel, and they tapped a hole in the side of the barrel to reduce any further build-up of gases in the barrel during the voyage. The thing is, alcoholic heard of a drink called Nelson's Blood. That was just going past the police headquarters, the Royal Gibraltar Police at Newmole House. The second. Now I mentioned Road towed to for repairs. Rosia Bay is just here to our right-hand side, harbour here in Gibraltar. And whilst laid to rest in this house, see the big anchor right there? That is a very, very large anchor. And this area of Gibraltar is known as Rosia. You'll never find me living down where people live. Now I've mentioned that Gibraltar is famous for its tunnels, the 34 miles or about 55 kilometres of tunnels. We've got 3 tunnels to go. Narrow gauge railway we had here in Gibraltar up until about 100 years ago. We don't have a railway anymore here, by the way. So we've got a little bit of creative driving ahead of us now. Here twice yesterday and I didn't scratch it. To Directly above us, we've got Parsons Lodge Gun Battery, and here to our right, this flight of secret entrance to the gun battery. Yes, wow. Apologies for the colour of the narrow gauge railway we had here. Generators. We also produce all our own drinking water through a process called desalination, which I think you may have in Singapore.
Yeah.
Well, yep, okay. Have at home. Hang about, let's just get past all these. Wherever Gibraltarians go, they must take their car. Here is a typical example. Up ahead here to our left-hand side, it is in fact the waste outlet from a desalination plant. We should, yes, here it is. Here. This is the waste outlet from one of our desalination plants. This is the highly salty water being returned to the sea. We do not want that. The thing is, our desalinated or flush our toilets at home water. So we've got two water systems. It is a bit like the Dead Sea. Come out to the other end of this tunnel, we will be at Europa Point. Early 1960s, and this is typical of the construction of all the tunnels here at Gibraltar. Gibraltar, by the way, is limestone, Jurassic limestone. No tunnelling machines in those days, just explosives and pneumatic drills to break up and remove all the rock. Construction of the mosque was paid for by the wall there, if anybody wants to try and pronounce it. We've got a very large gun by the flagpole over there, automatic light, but we still have the to President Sikorski, who was the president of Poland, but he lost his life during World Aircraft.
Rosia Bay.
A lot of the tours I do on my own. It's quite a luxury, by the way, to actually have a guide with me who does all the talking, so I sit and just drive the bus. It doesn't happen very often, but I do enjoy it. We've got the Mediterranean Sea to our right-hand side, and we've got one more tunnel to go through before we point here at Europa Point, all the way down the eastern side of Gibraltar, ending up at the frontier, which is the most northerly point in Gibraltar, so you can really understand how small this little country is. By the anchor, we've always got a few ships. So one big tug over there. She's got a large head. That tug has been here for nearly no work. It's costing somebody a lot of money. The anchor is lifted and they go around, have a change of and fuel to keep the generator. Comes back around here, drops the anchor, and there she is over there. The tug has the name of Luick Kestrel, and I'm looking red colour facing us at the moment. By the way, keep your eyes open again for monkeys. We're here to take all our domestic refuse into landfill sites in Spain. There. I've got to keep my eyes on the road, so I'll leave you to do all the looking. Tunnel, built about the same time as the Keighley Way Tunnel. The speed limit sign of 40, that by the way is in kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. By the way, has anybody... Yes, because you in Singapore drive on the English side of the road.
Yeah.
Right, let's wind the clock back, because the Spanish would come over to Gibraltar driving on their side of the road, and we would be driving on the English side of the road, or the Singaporely changed over to the European side of the road. We're going back to the frontier, and if you could imagine on a busy working day with all the vehicles having to change sides of the roads, in 1929 we changed over to the... Gibraltar, by the way, is the only British overseas territory to do that.
So it's not Singapore and English problem, it's the European problem.
It was easier for us to change around than to get Europe to change over to the English or Singapore side of the road. Anyway, we're now on the eastern side of Gibraltar. Lovely beaches.
Very good.
And all the buildings are known as, but nowadays, retirement homes and private apartments. We've got to stop at these traffic lights because normally we are not permitted to park on the. Every apartment here comes with a sea view. And by the way, keep your eyes open for monkeys. We do get them coming down from time to time. By the way, here to our left-hand side, you can't really see it from the bus, but he fed into very large storage tanks inside Gibraltar. But because of old age, and when dismantled, and as I've already explained, we now have the Desalination Beach here at Catalan Bay. This white building ahead of us is and all the residents who have a room with a balcony are constantly reminded that if you leave, that you make sure all the windows and the door leading to the balcony is closed, because we'll get in, and it does happen, and they just trash your room. They make it.
Was this part of the hotel?
No. If you own one of these properties, you are doing very nicely, thank you very much. Catalan Bay is a very luxurious part of Gibraltar. I'd love to come and live around here, really would. For future land reclamation projects, east as well. And this mountain continues to grow. And I think that what can they do with it? I would imagine it's more land reclamation. But if you look here to your far right-hand side, by the way, all these cars, you see where they're parked, that's all reclaimed land.
Car yard for...
I believe all these white Something to do with taxation, I think. Taxation is one thing I don't talk about simply because I don't understand it. Right, if you look here to your holes in the wall, in the north face of the rock, they are sniper positions from World War II and invade Gibraltar. Thankfully it did not happen, but we've got a lot of sniper positions up here to our left. We had torrential rain. If you'll see what came crashing down, all that rock we had come crashing down. And again, if you look to the right hand side of this white panel, you'll see one very, very large boulder the size of a car. Now this is a bit of an industrial part of Gibraltar. This, by the way, is called Desalination now. Up until the start of World War II, there was a lookout tower. By the way, just the other side. Got to be careful here because we've got a speed trap. Everybody knows it's here. Maximum speed for this bus is 35 kilometers per hour for speeding. I'm honest. Okay, across the runway we go. Last chance to get any photographs, and I've already explained all about it. How dangerous it is, and the number of flights and the aircraft that we have coming and going. As I think I've already stated, by crossing the runway, unless
So right here, the position left hand turn tops. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, again, later on your drop over here. Okay, so everyone, we'll spend here until 5 p.m. Okay, that's my maximum. Okay, 5 p.m. Okay, 5 p.m. Okay, that's my longest I can give you. You know, later I'll show you where's the garden. Okay, your garden side right there is actually, and then of course there is a table that is actually facing against to this, you know, Mediterranean sea. Oh, that one nice.
下飞 下一个大型的古道。哇，外比利时，都没需要。这个来的相比其他名字上就很漂亮。
Okay, so let's start the tea of these small mihas. This is just like horse carriage to the left. You can see, just pass by. Okay, so once again, structure very simple. Go toilets. Okay. By the way, get off will be your pickup point as well. Okay. Your drop off will be your pickup point 5 o'clock. Okay. Remember, 5 p.m. So when you get off from the bus, I'll show you where's the toilets. Use the toilet first before we start. Okay. Please, on the way when I do this showing you, please gather together, everyone. Please don't split up. So, okay, I can show you everything. Okay, I can show you everything at least. Bus parking again, the bus driver will be waiting for us here at 5:25. Get over here. Don't worry, got free time, the 1.5 hour. Okay, so same thing once again before you leave Mihas, please use the toilets, the next hour. Okay, by right, there's a good view. Due to they have us festival.
哇 ，smell 啊，可能是那个鱼哦。
臭啊！
哦，two donkey in front of you。
臭臭味。
他们的原本是在楼下的。
哇！
这样就看。
普利萨。
哇，葡萄里面它会做几妹，哇，真的是好厉害，我怎么见过的？真的。
都到了啦，这是。哇，
很香哎，
有烟，来咯。可以去上面拍咯。
看海景。
哎，你们站在那边还拍大伯家啦？没，这样没。来，这样。越传的好来不要紧啦。啊，可以看。哦。 Thì vì có mà không. Yêu bạn nào đi ra biết.
Ramen, peanut, sunflower.
Ready?
Yeah, checking a very funny keep telling you a lot of things one. Okay, standard this is global exchange, yeah. Okay, so one level, take the escape drop. Cash right, don't take any choice. For credit card, yes, you have to take credit cards. Then you write your credit card number. Okay, thinking about it, you want cash or you want credit cards? Barcelona, right, is really crowded. It's really a lot of people queuing up. They have been on the spot. Should be okay. Clear now. Clear. Thank you. You look up to the airport if you arrive this airport. Please, any question, please look for me. I will teach you what to do. Okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those who have a tax invoice, okay, those who have a tax invoice, please tomorrow just put inside your hand carry or your personal bag. Okay, tomorrow we have a long journey of traveling, okay, from Granada to Valencia. Okay, so we have time. Of course, I got time to like go through the tax invoice with you. So tonight, gather all your tax. I will teach you what. Okay. Okay, Alhambra Palace. Okay, once we arrive, the guy waits. Okay, these tickets, right? One words, you cannot lose it until it is a multi-entry tickets. Okay, not just enter one entrance. There's a lot of entrance also. So in Alhambra Palace also, this one have to take note. We are coming to the end of the trip already. Please, the most important I still concern is your passport. Okay, over there, Alhambra Palace, there is a lot of people here also. Okay, then after that, right, this orientation tour, right, I can tell you, this palace is really big. You have to walk the city tour. Okay, you have to walk all the way city tour minutes. We are going to these motor services. Last motor services we are going for. Coming out, got seafood, free time out, motor services. So tomorrow when you eat these motor services, right, I want to see your smile. Very pretty. Yeah, last one motor the one. Okay. Tomorrow one, okay. So after you having, okay, before we leave this Alhambra Palace, you definitely have to go to the toilet because it will take you about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, when we come here. I know you all like in Singapore, your work very stressed, no time for you to relax. Yeah, that's why you come to holiday. I understand, don't worry, you want to sleep, just go ahead. Yeah, even some of my guests, right, they told me at night they can't sleep. Then I said, then how? He said he liked to sleep in the bus. Then I asked the guest why. He said he liked to listen to my voice, then he can sleep. Really? So he said, I like your voice, then I can fall asleep. Really, you know, when you step in the bus, you sleep. When I talk, you start to sleep. Yeah, okay? Don't worry. Okay, you want to sleep, it's okay. But important parts when I announce, they want you have to take notes.
哇啦你。
We leave the hotel at 8:30. Okay, so 10 minutes before, please take our luggage.
有嘢啊？應該邊啲快正嘅紅衫紅衫。很好啊，不要買東西更好。謝謝那個，我要多買東西，就是謝啊，但是細緊啊，你講會你講翻佢幾個月翻嚟啊？你話收啲年費，我哋都會細緊啲會啦。你好，帶來去平常話，你快點來，路的旁邊的。真的好像在这路旁边这样的，我看到我来了。诶，那个阿邊度係買條嘢嘅，新所在買嘢。嗱，這邊頭你係已表弟就小想我哋看到係表弟嘅最小想嘅，佢經買佢就部啲學校咧就被企喺度嘅，一時嘅。
Okay, this I walk around the marina, I walk around 10 or so in